Life is a delicate balance of action and patience, an intricate dance between striving and waiting. So many of us expend our energy chasing after things, whether it's relationships, success, or recognition, as if they hold the key to our fulfillment. But here's the paradox. The harder we chase, the further away those things seem to drift. It's a painful reality that we often overlook. We become so consumed by the pursuit that we fail to see the immense power in standing still and letting what's meant for us find its way. Imagine for a moment the effort we put into proving ourselves, into making others see our worth. We bend, we compromise, we shrink ourselves just to fit into someone else's idea of who we should be. And yet, in doing so, we often lose sight of the very essence that makes us valuable. There's a quiet strength in patience, a form of dignity that says, I know my worth and I trust that what is meant for me will recognize it too. This isn't resignation, it's self-respect. It's the refusal to settle for less than what aligns with your values and your purpose. You see, life doesn't reward desperation, it rewards preparation. The world operates in a way that aligns with readiness. When you're truly ready, when your character, skills, and mindset are aligned with what you desire, opportunities will present themselves. It's not magic, it's alignment. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity, as Seneca once said. If you find yourself waiting, use that time wisely. Build yourself into the kind of person who can handle what you're asking for. If it hasn't come to you yet, perhaps you're not ready for it yet, and that's okay. Growth takes time, and patience is part of the process. It's easy to feel powerless when things don't happen on our timeline. We've been conditioned to believe that action is the only path forward, that if we're not constantly moving, we're falling behind. But some of the most profound transformations happen in stillness. Think about a seed planted deep in the soil. It doesn't sprout the moment it's planted. It takes time, nurturing, and faith in the unseen process. And yet, when the time is right, it emerges strong and full of potential. This same principle applies to us. The waiting period is not a punishment, it's preparation. It's in the quiet moments that we discover our strength, refine our character, and align with our true purpose. In the pursuit of relationships, this principle becomes even more poignant. How often do we chase after people who don't value us? How often do we convince ourselves that we need to be more attractive, more successful, more agreeable just to earn their attention? But the truth is, genuine connection cannot be forced. It cannot be earned through manipulation or compromise. True connection comes from mutual recognition, from a place of authenticity. If someone is meant to be in your life, they will see your worth without you having to prove it. And if they don't, their absence is not your loss, it's your liberation. Never beg someone to be in your life. If you have to convince them to stay, they're not meant to be there, as a wise saying goes. Patience is not passive. It's not about sitting idly and waiting for life to happen to you. Patience is active. It's the willingness to invest in yourself, to work quietly behind the scenes, to trust that the right things will come at the right time. It's about staying committed to your growth even when the results aren't immediately visible. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but the kind of faith that comes knowing that the effort you're putting in today will bear fruit tomorrow. As Rumi so beautifully put it, try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you, and do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side you are used to is better than the one to come? Patience also requires courage, the courage to walk away from what isn't meant for you. It's tempting to settle, to cling to what's familiar, even if it doesn't serve you. But every time you settle, you're sending a message to yourself and the world that you don't believe you deserve better. And that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You have to be willing to let go of what doesn't align with your values and trust that something better is on its way. It's a leap of faith, but it's one worth taking. Think about a flame. It doesn't chase the moths. It simply burns brightly and they come to it. That's the kind of energy we need to embody. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you naturally attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances. It's not about arrogance or self-importance. It's about self-confidence and authenticity. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you become magnetic. People are drawn to those who exude a sense of purpose and self-assuredness. And the best part, you don't have to chase. You don't have to convince. You simply have to be. This is not to say that life will always align perfectly with your expectations. It won't. There will be setbacks, disappointments, and moments of doubt. But even in those moments, there's an opportunity to learn and grow. Every rejection, every delay, every unanswered prayer is shaping you into the person you need to become. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And when you understand that, patience becomes not just a necessity, but a gift. So let them come to you. Let the opportunities come to you. Let the relationships come to you. Let success come to you, not because you're entitled to them, but because you've earned them, because you've done the work, built the character, and trusted the process. And when they do come, you'll know that they're not here by accident. They're here because you're ready, because you've become the kind of person who attracts what you desire. Life is not a race, it's a journey. And the most beautiful moments are often the ones we didn't plan for, the ones that come when we least expect them. Trust in that. Trust in yourself. Trust in the process. And remember, the things that are truly meant for you will never require you to compromise your worth or chase after them. They will come to you not because you need them, but because you've become the kind of person who deserves them. And that in itself is the greatest victory. Life is a strange and beautiful paradox. It's not just about what you pursue, but about what you attract. It's not just about how hard you work to be noticed, but about how deeply you cultivate the kind of person you are becoming. We live in a world that constantly tells us to hustle, to strive, to chase after success and recognition. But there's something profoundly powerful about the individual who doesn't chase, the one who simply becomes so undeniable, so magnetic that the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances naturally gravitate toward them. There is an extraordinary energy that surrounds someone who knows their worth. It's not arrogance or entitlement. It's an unshakable confidence grounded in self-awarenesses. These people don't seek validation from others because they already know what they carry within them. They don't scramble for approval because their sense of identity doesn't hinge on external recognition. Confidence is silent. Insecurity is loud. Think about that for a moment. The loudest voices in the room are often the most fragile, desperate to be seen and heard. But the truly confident are calm, measured, and steady. They don't need to shout their value. It speaks for itself. This is not to say you should do nothing and simply wait for life to happen to you. That's a misunderstanding of what it means to attract rather than chase. The magnetism of a confident person isn't passive. It's built. It's cultivated through deliberate effort, through relentless self-improvement, and through the kind of discipline that shapes character. The work is inward before it is outward. You don't become magnetic by standing still. You become magnetic by moving forward with purpose, by sharpening your skills, expanding your knowledge, and staying aligned with your principles. Be so good they can't ignore you, as the saying goes. That's the essence of magnetic energy. It's earned, not given. The flame does not chase the moth, it simply burns. It burns with a steady, unyielding intensity that draws everything toward it. Imagine if the flame wasted its energy chasing every passing insect. It would extinguish itself in the process. The same is true for us. We can't waste our energy chasing people who don't value us or opportunities that aren't aligned with our purpose. Instead, we must focus on becoming the flame, on burning so brightly in our authenticity and excellence that what's meant for us cannot help but find us. There's a quiet kind of dignity in letting things come to you. It doesn't mean you're idle or complacent. It means you trust the process. It means you trust that the work you're putting in, the person you're becoming, is enough. And when you operate from a place of trust, you project a different energy. People can sense it. They can see it in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you respond to challenges. And that energy is contagious. It draws the right people to you, people who recognize your value without needing you to prove it. But attracting the right people and opportunities also requires a willingness to let go of what doesn't serve you. Too often we cling to relationships or situations that drain us because we're afraid of the void their absence might leave. But here's the thing, when you hold on to the wrong things, you close yourself off to the right ones. You can't attract what's meant for you if your hands are full of what isn't. As Rumi once said, be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. It's not easy to let go, but it's necessary. The space you create by releasing what no longer serves you is the space where something better can grow. Attracting what you desire also requires clarity. You can't attract the right things if you don't know what they are. So many people drift through life unsure of what they want, and as a result, they settle for whatever comes their way. But when you have a clear vision of your goals and values, you become a beacon for what aligns with them. That clarity is a signal, a guiding light that helps you navigate the chaos of life and make choices that bring you closer to your purpose. Clarity precedes success, as the saying goes. Without it, you're just wandering in the dark. Magnetic energy is also deeply rooted in self-discipline. It's not just about believing in your worth, it's about behaving in a way that reflects that belief. It's about showing up every day and doing the hard work even when no one is watching. It's about holding yourself to a higher standard, not because you're seeking validation, but because you refuse to settle for mediocrity. Excellence is attractive. Integrity is attractive. Consistency is attractive. When you embody these qualities, you don't need to chase, you simply need to be, and the rest will follow. But let's not pretend this is easy. There will be moments of doubt, moments when you wonder if you're doing enough or if you're on the right path. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is happening, like all your efforts are in vain. But those moments are part of the process. They're testing your patience, your resilience, your commitment to your vision. And it's in those moments that you must hold the line. You must keep building, keep growing, and keep trusting that the seeds you're planting today will bloom in their own time. Success is never owned, it's rented, and the rent is due every day. This isn't about sitting back and waiting for the world to hand you what you want. It's about taking ownership of your journey, about becoming so undeniably excellent that you can't help but draw the right things to you. It's about walking into every room with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. It's about living with purpose, even when no one is watching, and trusting that the right people will take notice. And when they do, it won't be because you begged for their attention or compromised your values. It will be because you stood firm in your truth. It will be because you dared to be authentic in a world that often rewards conformity. It will be because you had the courage to let go of what wasn't meant for you and the patience to wait for what was. So focus on becoming, focus on building yourself into the kind of person who doesn't need to chase. Because the things that matter most, the things that truly belong to you, will come when the time is right. And when they do, you'll know they're not here by accident. They're here because you've earned them.